Good afternoon, econ students. It's Mr. Malloy here. I'm basically going to try and break down the rest of the year for you guys in this video to get you ready to graduate. I really look forward to seeing you all walk, even if it's digital and metaphorical, by the 26th. So let's get it done, huh? So today I want to talk to you about basically what you need to know to pass our class in economics. This video is being made for two separate economics classes with two separate content teachers. Please understand that's why Mr. Malloy is talking. Both teachers have been hard at work and are there for you if you need them. Let's begin. First of all, even though you already know this, as marking period 2 was using this grading breakdown, I want to go over this grading breakdown really quick. This grading breakdown is very different from what we have normally in school. Normally in school, formative assessments are like 60%, summative assessments are like 20, and behaviors like 20. The reason why we motioned to go to 40% for behaviors so that your teachers could frankly show some mercy and understand what a hardship this is to be alive in this time and go through this. That said, we still need work from you, and we still need evidence to base our grade for you on. I think that's perfectly fair. So I want to go through this really quick. What is behavior when I don't see you in person? Behavior means work completion. Did you hit the due dates? It's okay if you didn't. I'm not going to mark you down on your assignment for that, but consistently late work or no work is going to impact this grade. It should. Attempts made. So did you even attempt things? Did you submit things blank? Or did you put things with one-word answers you know wouldn't, yield a working grade for anybody? We're intending to be very merciful in this way, but I still want you to try, and I think that's fair. I hope you find that's fair too. Hardship clause is sort of tricky and private. I'll keep this simple. Hardship clause means we want to take into account things that you're going through. Some of you have lost family. Some of you have had living situations change. It's not your job to tell us what's going on in your life, and you don't necessarily have to tell us what's going on in your life, but if you want to reach out to us by email privately to explain what you're going through, we can take it into account when we're grading you for behavior. And minimum requirements met is about completing enough work to get it done. So what is that? That looks like completing these assignments, 12 to 15 and 18 to 20 for the formative grade, and it means attempting craft hustle. Now here's the thing, Craft Hustle is our only project, and don't forget that's something that I had you guys vote on. That was not unintentional. We had a vote. And both classes went for this. So this is our only project, and that was the consequence of this vote, and it was a decision I let you guys make. So the flip of that is that I want you all to at least attempt this, because without this 20%, behavior is also impacted and it becomes much harder to pass. Many of you are in good straits to pass. Some of you are in good straits to pass with 95s or 100, and some of you might be in the 80s or 70s right now who could get up there. So please, let's get it. I want to keep going. Today I added something similar to the counterbalance, or the assignment completion counterbalance we had last marking period. This marking period, I'm calling it the work completion adjustment. So what does this mean? This means basically that scheduler has a problem where if I put in one assignment and I gave you 100 for that assignment, it makes you think that you got 100 for the whole marking period, when in fact you did 1 out of 8 assignments, 3 of which are project grades. So I need to put in this grade as a counter so that you understand where you're actually at. If you don't do a thing, if you don't lift a finger, this becomes a reflection of what you should expect for this 40%, this much larger grade. Right now, this is only counting as a counterweight to make the grade go down, so you understand where you're at. Here's how it works. If you're giving me less than 1/3 of a marking period, we have a problem. You're going to get a 50 in this category for the duration of the marking period. It will turn into a 55 at the end of the marking period, which is a fail. If you have 4 of 8 assignments, you're at a 55 for now. This easily can be brought up. The second I see you improve this number, we don't have a problem. 3 or more, I'm going to put you 65 to 75, depending on if the things that you're missing are the project grade or not. And if you're missing 2 or less assignments, I'm letting you navigate this work on your own as near adults, and I'm going to leave this blank. Again, all of this changes every day. Every day I'm grading, and every day I'm trying to make this number as accurate as possible for you all, because you all deserve to pass if you do the work. And yes, I do feel 100% is accomplishable in an online course. Everything you need to do is there. And I'm happy to help you, and so is Mr. Kazasko, and so is Ms. Tashenko. All assignments are going to be due formally on the 16th. What do I mean by this? Well, how did I come up with this number? I came up with this number because final grades for seniors are due on the 22nd. You guys are graduating on the 26th. Believe it or not, that is an insanely tight turnaround for grades because there's much more paperwork involved with grading than students actually see. That's why I'm asking you to please try and be done by the 16th of June. I am not going to mark people down on lateness, but I am a human being and I have limitations. One of my big limitations is that when I get a flurry of work at the last of the marking period, there's only so much time in a day. I'm only legally required to grade for so long, and even if I stay up all night and power grade, I might not hit everything. So here's how it's going to go after the 26th, after the 16th. After the 16th, I will grade things up until the 20th, but I can't guarantee you that I will let you re-attempt them. So if I give you an 85 and I say do questions 1 and 4 again, I'm not going to guarantee after the 16th that I will do a second round of grading for that assignment. I will try because I care about all of you, but it is hard. And I have a lot going on, as do you. So let's respect each other there. Work submitted between the 20th and the 22nd is not guaranteed to be graded. I'm going to try and do my best to grade it and incorporate it. It's going to be case by case. So if you're in a position where you haven't done enough work to pass after the 16th, it would be in your best interest to write me and explain what's going on so we can work something out at that point. At the end of the day, final grades are due on the 22nd. I need to talk to you about the NL system that's going on. I have a very hard choice to make as your teacher. What is that choice? You guys are mostly seniors. You guys are very close to graduation. Now, if I gave you an NL mark because you didn't do anything for marking period 3, that would technically mean you had summer school and you didn't graduate. But the only alternative I have, if you don't do anything at all for marking period 3, is to give you a 55, which even if you had hundreds in the previous 2 marking periods is like a lead weight for your grade. Your best possible grade, 100, 155, is going to be 75. So why shoot yourself in the foot and sink your grade by having a little bit of senioritis? It doesn't make sense. What I'm asking for is ultimately like 3 assignments, and I'm very confident that you guys can do at least the Craft Hustle project, which brings me to that project itself. I want to take some time to make sure you guys know what's going on and help you with the middle part because it is the hardest. So at this point, this assignment has been doled out, albeit at slightly separate times for you guys. All 3 parts are available. First of all, I ask you guys to go to this YouTube channel to find a craft you like. Now, you have a lot of flexibility with assignment. You could do a hobby you like. You could also use your CTE skill. You could also use a third skill. This guy is just really cool. You know, I just like him, and he's got a big leg up, which is that when he does do a project, for instance, this video, which a lot of you guys liked, he will put in the comments all of the parts you need on Amazon. So you can do quite a bit of this project just off that alone. So let's get back to this. Let's say, just hypothetically, we did do the rubber metal, which so far 2 of you have done. I would post the tutorial. I would put the link in. I would put the name in as asked. Here you're going to talk about why you think it's profitable. Here you find me an example and you cite basically someone already making money on it. I don't want you to tell me you're going to sell unicorns. No one makes money selling unicorns unless they're plastic, in which case, guess what? It is an action figure technically. So this could be like going on Etsy or Amazon and finding someone selling this, or if it's a nail salon, listing a local nail salon, maybe even one that you intend to try and work at. And similar to what you're doing down here, where I say based on information provided in the tutorial selected, as well as the instance of someone selling the product you found, how much do you think it could cost to produce 1 unit? This is something that you're going to calculate in part 2 exactly. You can give me a ballpark here. You can also look at what the people were selling in their price for this price. So if I see that Dreamweavers are $10 on Etsy, I can put $10 down here. Now for part 2, and this is the hard part. Now, we've done really similar things to this in person. We did this with the Survival Backpack project, if you remember. But I'm going to stress one more time just how much of a leg up you have on that section by using the Craftman's materials used lists. There's no reason you can't just straight up copy and paste here and then give me the cost. I did this on purpose. I did this so this could be a fluid assignment, and I hope that helps. Of course, if you use your own tutorials, you'll need to make this happen on your own. A lot of you have been saying you own your own tools. Fine, no problem there. If you want to say I own the tools and list them as free, I'm going to take it on your word that you do. Now, here is the hard part of this project, and I think the point of frustration for a lot of you. And I'm sorry to say that in one iteration of this project, I unfortunately, Google Classroom didn't update the copy that was pushed out to students, but updated the copy I was working on. This is the most up-to-date form of this question. It's essentially what I'm asking you. The old form is also asking for the time it takes you to make something. I'm not going to require you to put that in. So What does this look like? Here I give you an example of what simple brass rings would take. I do my material parts list. I did that on my own in this case. Here I figure out how much it's going to take me to make the 10 rings that I'm asking for here. And then I get into this funky breakdown off of this number. So this number should just be basically this cost, or column B cost added together. And then you're going to take that number, that's your material cost number. You want to make a profit of at least $5 an item. And your selling price is what you're calculating for. So that should be basically the material cost plus profit is selling price. And you can use this equation as I break it down there. It's also right here. Luckily, the examples, when I copied and pasted them, do have the new format. So you can go off of this equation. And I also list this in the comments. Anyone struggling with this, please, please, please just let me know and we'll work something out. I'm really just trying to get your feet wet with this so that you go into adulthood with a hustle in mind that can make you money more than minimum wage often and save your butt from some certain poverty, hopefully, that honestly I hope you never have to incur or deal with. And then for part 3, it's very straightforward. Here, I want you to figure out your target demographic. So every product has a target demographic. You don't sell earrings that cost 2 cents to make at Claire's to grown men. Usually you sell them to teenage girls. That's a target demographic. So I'm asking you, who are you selling this to? So if you're making dream weavers, presumably your target demographic is going to be people with bad dreams, right? Nightmare laden people. That's a target demographic. I'm asking you to do some research there and also to use common sense. If you really struggle with this, just let me know and we'll find one, I promise. Here I'm going to ask you basically to try and see what it would take to make money on this. Now, the vast majority of you are going to use Etsy or eBay, and that's fine. But basically what I'm asking is, how are you going to sell the thing? Where are you going to sell the thing? What's it called? And what does it cost? This number should be the final number from part 2. This number, or this is not a number, sorry, this name is up to you, but it should make sense. The URL is just going to be like, what website are you selling through? This could also be a store if you want to consign through a store, like a local store. And your point of sale is like literally, how do I get money? So are you using PayPal? Are you going through eBay? Are you going through Amazon? Are you going through Etsy? So an answer here could look like literally like Etsy, Etsy.com, Dreamweaver, $10. And I'd be very happy with that. And then very lastly, I'm going to ask you basically to tell me how you're going to let people know that you're doing this and make money. So the vast majority of you are probably going to say something like, well, I'll make a post on Facebook. That's fine. So is word of mouth. Just let me know how you would intend to do it. A lot of people who formally pursue this kind of work also put ads in papers or do online advertising. Surprisingly expensive, but by all means, if you want, you can research it and let me know. I really hope that this was informative. I know I talk fast, but hey, you can rewatch the video and you can always ask me questions. I really appreciate all the work you guys are doing and getting through this together, and I really look forward to hopefully watching every single one of you walk on the 26th. So thank you and have a good afternoon.